Thanks, guys.
Are we going?
I think we're live.
We're live on the screen.
Cool.
Beautiful.
How's everybody doing? We
Good.
got NFS Drew here. We have AZ, and
We're
all
not
the.
on camera.
Here we go.
Wait, now we are.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Ah, there we go.
There we go. Hey everyone. NFS De Vellis. You got NFS Drew popping in
Hey
here.
guys.
NFS AZ. And we're just basically going to give you guys a full-length demo on drag today.
Yep.
I know the mode is coming out
Today.
today,
Yep.
which is
The
awesome.
patch is in motion right now.
Yeah, the team is busy scurrying away, and we're
Well,
playing.
yeah.
We're playing. So the whole goal today is what? Just to give them a full rundown.
Yeah, we're gonna do a few demo races for you guys and show you what the mode's like. It's a brand new mode for the game, so we just want to get you guys in front of it and see what it's like.
Yeah, we have a couple awesome sneak peeks of the drag cars as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're going to take some time to answer some questions after about
sure.
the drag mode. That is.
Yeah.
So
We'll save at least, as we always do, guys. We'll save 20 minutes, 30 minutes for questions. So Drew is on the side here queuing all your questions up, which is awesome, and we'll get to those.
yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
before we get into guys, just a reminder to everybody posting questions that we're going to be answering questions about drag mode before we answer any other questions. So
Yep.
that's how it's going to go.
Cool.
So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
All right. So I need to give you the mouse for
Sure.
a while.
Let's
yeah.
do this. Here we go. So here we are. AZ,
All right.
you want to take over?
Yeah. So should we go?
You want to show them quickly that they haven't seen this car
the car?
yet? Yeah.
Want to check it out? Okay.
Let's do
so
that.
I'll do a quick little pan around. They're looking at the game now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the new Super Snake. This is the drag version of the car.
Yeah, so again, this is made by the car team, Mike Hayes, Vinod Raju, did an awesome job on this one.
Yeah, they really did a good job
Yeah.
on those drag cars.
Fenders are flared out, it's fully drag ready. Let's see the vinyls on the side maybe. Some custom vinyls. We got the big parachute in the back.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Really bar.
My pony, ready to rock. Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, and
And then we're going to be racing up against the Supra too, aren't we?
We are,
no, it's different car today.
yeah,
Oh, are we?
We've got we're changing it up. We've got
give it a good run for his money.
Melvin checking out. I'm not sure what car he's going to use actually. It's a surprise.
Yeah? Okay, let's
So
see.
we're going to go in there and just see what he's using
Perfect, let's do
and
it.
see if we can beat him. Should we go race now?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
I'll go
Cue him up.
queue them up.
Okay,
All right. So these
talk
are the,
about a little bit of the events.
yeah. So we have a couple new events from drag. This is the new icon you guys are going to be seeing all over the map.
Yep.
The one we're going to be racing in, it's pretty cool. Let's teleport there right now.
Okay.
Most of you, if you've played the game, you're familiar with this location already. And it's because that's where you guys
Oh, nice,
always
the
do your
bridge.
drags anyway.
Yep.
And so if you go to the game right now or like another day, people are queuing up over here to do the drag race, and
Yeah.
now we've actually got a game mode to support it.
Yeah.
So
this is one of the community. This is inspired by the community. This is
Yeah,
where everybody,
yeah, completely.
everybody's like, hey, we race
Yeah.
at the bridge anyway. Give us the mode.
yeah, it's because you guys race here already that we decided to put this here, and it's perfect, right? Look at that.
Finally, the mode is here.
So
Yeah.
instead of having to do this every 5 seconds, you can actually join a real race now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, AZ,
Yeah.
what is some background around drag? Do you want to give us like some quick so for those who are not familiar with the mode?
Yeah.
So it's going back towards traditional Need
Yeah,
for
so
Speed.
if you're familiar with the old NFS games, you can looking back to like Underground was one of those days.
Yeah.
Drag was always one of the best game modes and really iconic to the franchise in the game. So we always wanted to have it in the world, and we've put out a few game modes here and there like Team Escape, but
Yep.
now we felt like we wanted to put out Drag because
For sure. Quick moment-to-moment gameplay,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
competitive.
Yeah, and they're quick too. Like under 30 seconds, it's like a true test of your car's speed. You go
Yeah.
in there and you go all out, and
Yeah.
if you win, you win.
Cool. Okay, and the big thing too is, I know the community is obviously waiting for it, is the manual mode.
Yeah. So that's cool. Right?
Yeah.
So we've got manual in as well. That's one of the big things. Is
Yeah. So maybe speak to that a little bit on how manual works with drag and sort of the perks behind hitting your shifts and all that.
Yeah, so the thing about having manual in the game now is, or for drag is, when you take off the line, it's all about hitting those perfect shifts. So we got a custom HUD for it. I think we released a screenshot of that a while ago. But
Yeah.
you watch your RPM band. As soon as you hit perfect shift, boom, you flick the stick or you shift up, and we give you a perfect boost. If you perfect shift, we give you a little boost of acceleration.
Yeah.
If you over rev, you slow down a bit. If you have a good shift, you just
Yeah.
do okay. But it really tests your skill as a driver to hit hit those shifts and go as fast as you can.
Excellent.
Well, I think it's pretty important to note too that you have to be in manual to be able to hit perfect shift.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
So
you
yeah,
just-
that's another thing.
You can speak to that about the automatic
Yeah,
as well.
so
Yep.
so we've got a new pre-race screen, and in there for drag you can actually toggle between automatic and manual. So if you want to drive automatic, and you don't have the finesse yet to be a manual driver, or you just want to take it easy, you can go to automatic and just test your car out.
Sure.
But if you're one of those drivers who wants to finesse it and try really hard and try to win, then go to manual and hit those perfect shifts.
Yeah, we can show a quick demo on that
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well as we
yeah.
go through the mode, and we'll
Okay.
speak to exactly what AZ's talking about.
Yeah.
Cool, the guys queued up over there?
I think they are.
Cool. So we have Melvin and Pavan from the design team queuing up to race against us over
Yeah,
there.
they're ready.
All right,
Let's do it.
This is the new. So welcome to drag, guys. This is
Yeah,
it.
welcome, Rockport Turnpike. Inspired by the
There
community,
you go.
made for the community.
Oh,
All
there
right.
we go.
Here we go.
So you're gonna see the brand new.
Yeah, take them through
Brand
the
new
car screen.
pre-race here. So the coolest thing I'll call out first of all is I've got 20 seconds to go.
Yeah.
We have this huge space now for the car to show off. Before you couldn't see barely see the car. Now we're showing off the car front and center.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what I'm racing against.
The team kind of cues us
Okay,
as
yeah, cool.
the car is a star, right?
So
show off
I can
your
take a look at all his parts. I can see what he's rocking here before we race.
awesome.
And
Quick, we got 2 seconds.
I can go between automatic and manual there.
There you
We're
go.
going manual.
Yeah. Let's move the mouse out of the way.
Yeah. Okay, and let's hope I win.
So, a couple goals here. You're trying to hit your perfect shift off the
Yeah,
line.
so here we go.
Hit
Perfect
your-
start.
hit
I'm
your
going to try my
green.
best to hit that. Let's turn it up. Oh, there we go. Oh, no,
I
I'm
missed
terrible.
it. Oh,
I know, I
rookie.
lost.
Okay.
So we're neck and neck.
So as he's hitting his perfect shifts here, he's getting a little bit of a jolt. So the goal, he's in second here. The goal is
Oh.
always to hit his perfect shifts.
Come on.
Nice.
Come
Oh,
on.
good race.
Come
Oh,
on.
nice.
Oh.
Perfect.
Boom.
Nice.
Nice one.
So awesome. So even you can see, even if there's kind of no room for mistakes.
Yeah.
Pavan or Melvin, missed a shift there, and you hit all your perfect shifts.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neck to neck battle. That's sort of what separates the
Yeah.
gameplay with this one. Is you need, literally, it's easy to do, but you need to be perfect in order to
Yeah.
have a good run, right?
I'm sweating right now, honestly. That was kind of intense.
Well, let's talk about this post-race.
post-race.
Yeah, so new post race. So once again, cars front and center. We can see, who I'm racing against, what car I'm in. I'm the champion, so everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the cool thing is, now when you customize your car, you can actually show it off in a post race. You win the race, everyone wants to see
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're driving and what you look like, what's under the hood.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So people can take a look at what I've got.
Yeah.
It's really
Even makes
awesome.
it more competitive, right? Because
Yeah.
if a guy just stomps you, like, oh, what does he have on his ride? Boom,
Yeah.
you go there, check him out.
Because I can put on my big vinyls on the side, and everyone can see my
Yeah.
bright
Your
pink.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we should look at skill mods too. We've got some new skill mods in this
Yeah.
car.
Let's get into that a bit.
Yeah, and so because it's a new drag car, basically similar to what we do with the Team Escape Juggernaut cars, we put on some custom skill mods on this guy.
Yep.
And the first one that's really a huge one for this is the aero drag reduction, which basically just makes the car way more aerodynamics. It takes away a lot of the drag.
Yep.
We accelerate and
Sure. Well, this one too is perfect. A perfect example of the last race.
Yeah.
Is with that skill mod, you were kind of catching them on the end, which I
Yeah.
assume with the drag reduction, it gives you more top end
yeah,
speed,
completely.
right?
It's
Okay.
made just for drag, so you pretty much go faster, you accelerate, and then in those last situations where you're neck and neck, you just take off.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's a big one. And then the other skill ones we have are the gear ratio enhancement. So you guys saw me hitting the perfect shifts and trying to hit those timings.
Yep.
Basically, this makes it so that the range to hit perfect shifts and good shifts is bigger. So it makes it a
Nice.
little bit easier because sometimes when your RPM band's flying up and down,
Yeah.
it's hard to hit those shifts.
Especially we've done some races with the S classes too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's going a mile a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing with our cars, how they're tuned is every single car, they have different RPM ranges based on their factory spec
Yeah.
cars, and depending on the gear ratios, it affects the shift points as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that accordion effect changes per car. So that skill mod actually has a universal global effect, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the tight cars and the top cars with tight gearboxes,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to hit those quick sort of
Yeah.
F1 style
it takes,
shifts.
It takes
right?
a lot of skill to be able to hit those because, like Drew said, in the S-Class cars, sometimes when you're accelerating that fast, the things that you
You
fly.
can go through a couple gears within like a
Yeah.
second.
And
Right?
you-
Yeah,
and you
you'll be a gear 4 between.
Yeah.
Before you even leave
Yeah.
across
And
the
you
line,
don't want to over rev too because then you
Yeah.
go slower, so it's pretty useful.
Okay.
And then last but not least, we have the launch grip skill, which basically at the 3, 2, 1, when you take off, your tires will spin out.
Yeah.
This improves your grip at the start of the race, so you'll see you actually could just fly off the line at the
Yeah.
very beginning. And it makes you go a lot faster.
Perfect example again with the Mustang, which has got huge horsepower off the line.
Yeah.
You want with drag, you want to sort of minimize the wheel spin. or else every time you're spinning your wheels, you're not going forward.
Yeah.
So this one just
exactly.
makes you sort of launch off the,
Yeah.
more of a sticky grip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so that's the thing with these drag cars is they're built, for drag specifically. And then finally, you want to get more cash in races, we throw in that as well.
So these skill mods are purely then on drag cars.
Yeah. And this
Exclusive
aero
to-
drag is exclusive to drag. You'll
Exclusive
only
to
find
drag.
this on drag cars. It's a locked part. It's similar to what we do with Treasure Hunter or Juggernauts car parts.
That was going to be my next question. Is why
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
6 skill slots. So.
6 skill sets, yeah. So
Yes. Okay.
So that's like the Juggernaut skill or the Treasure Hunter skill.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
only available in drag cars. Yeah.
exclusive to drag cars, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Nice.
much.
Okay.
Okay, well that makes sense.
And that skill mod, if you take your drag car in other races,
Mm.
it's still used on other. You can still use it in any sort of event.
Yeah, but you'll notice the biggest effect in
drag.
In drag is when
Cool.
you feel the
So
most.
it's kind of a universal one.
So
Yeah.
you got to start building your cars for each mode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
pretty
much.
cool, actually.
Yep.
All right, well let's.
Should we do another one?
Let's do another one and give them a talk through the manual toggle since we
Let's
didn't have
do
enough time
it. Yeah.
to do that. So
So
I'll
should
tell
it-
the guys to queue back
It's
up.
the same event,
Yeah.
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 Cool. And oh wow, look at that, wooden parts.
Nice. Preferred cars, race force. Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
get?
I got a performance part. Sweet.
Okay, so let's do it one more time,
Sure.
and then we'll do maybe one more event, and then we'll take some questions on see what the community's
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking to see.
Alright, I'm queuing up. Couple things new, like it's the new gadget here. No traffic in this race.
Yeah.
We do have plans maybe to one day do traffic in drag races.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Um,
thing the community's been screaming for is no traffic, right?
Yeah.
You just want to
Yeah.
run clean. You
Well,
won't-
the option to choose whether traffic
Yeah.
or not. Yeah.
for sure. And right now, so go
And
ahead.
speaking of options, this
Yeah.
is what we're talking about between manual and automatic. I can switch between the two. Should I do this one automatic?
No,
So
do
I do
Yeah,
manual.
manual.
Show off your skills. You're a drag champion.
You're pro,
come on.
man.
I already won the first race. I thought I'd give him a chance. But
But the
yeah.
automatic, again, this is for more. Oh, here we go. So automatic is more for the gamer who just wants more of a casual experience,
Yeah.
just wants to cruise along.
Yeah.
The manual, again, if you want to hit everything perfect and get the optimal speed out of your car.
Alright, let's see if I can hit it this time.
Okay, so he's trying to stay in the green.
This is
Perfect shift. There you go. Perfect launch. Oh, nice. Wow. That Skyline launches.
Yeah.
See if your reduction kicks in. Oh, he had
I got closer,
yeah,
but man, he took off
he had
that
a
time.
good run.
he had a really good run that time.
Yeah. It's all.
But yeah.
all
Good job, Mel.
Yeah, nice job, Mel. All-wheel drive. It was all the smack
He
talk.
did that because I won the last race.
Yeah.
He was really angry that time. I could tell. I think he put ultra parts on just now, probably.
Cool.
But yeah,
Cool. Post race flow. Get
so I'm
another-
lucky twice. Yeah, wow. Should go to Vegas right now.
All right. What other events did you have lined up?
So yeah, we have a couple more events. There are 4 total we're shipping with right now for the launch of the mode, and yeah, carrying off of what we talked about before with no traffic. So all the first events we're launching with have no traffic, and like I said, we're focusing on the experience because right now there's no events that really have purely no traffic and they're based on player versus player.
Yeah.
So right now that's what we're focused on is let's create events where you can actually just match up against someone and then see whose car's better, who's better driver.
Yeah, just for the raw
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then add levels of
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, which one are we going to go into now?
So I think the next one we're going to show off, and the last one is Speed Fair.
Speed Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll show you guys the new locations. So we have this one down here, which is the one we just raced, the Turnpike. You guys know it already. You're always there doing drag races. Really cool one in the middle here called Burrows, which goes through tunnels.
Cool.
Up in the north we have Breaking Point, which is an awesome one where you line up and go through this epic tunnel that's sort of dark lit and it's really cool.
Nice.
And then finally we'll show off Speed Fair now, which is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah?
It's awesome.
What
yeah.
makes it this event unique?
I'll show you guys once you get in the game, but you'll see it starts off. It's set at the
Just-
boardwalk where the Ferris wheel is and
Oh,
everything,
nice.
and it just looks amazing.
Okay.
And race it at night, I recommend as well because it looks cool.
Okay. Is there one out of the 4 that's more challenging, or they all have their own sort of?
You know, I'd say this is probably the most challenging one.
Okay.
It's one of the longer ones, but challenging in different ways. This is challenging more in terms of control because it's a bit more winding.
Okay.
But you know that last one we just did, the Turnpike, that's probably the most challenging in terms of getting your shifts perfect.
Okay.
Because you'll often finish a race and you'll be 0.01 seconds off the next
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you really have to be perfect.
Okay.
You know, in everything you do.
Maybe during the race or after you can talk a little bit about the lane shifting mechanics.
No, yeah. In this sense, this is one of the races where you actually have to lane shift, so it's pretty
Okay.
important to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're on the fair, you want to avoid some of the obstacles as well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming.
I'll try my best to. It's kind of tough. But
Okay. Nice. Perfect
There we go.
launch. Perfect shift. So far, perfect run.
So here we go.
Yeah,
I'm already in the good lane here, so I'm dodging some obstacles here.
That's
The
perfect.
shift.
Yeah, you can see the sense of speed is super
Change to the
quick
left
as well.
here.
Oh, you hit something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did. I think I'm winning here. Let's do it.
perfect. Nice one. That was a great run.
Yeah.
That was almost a perfect run, other than you're just hitting a few
I
smackables.
hit the one big snap
Yeah,
at the end there.
but the hardcore users are going to go through that perfect.
Yeah.
They're going to get perfect launch, perfect shifts, not hit a smackable. Because I think every time you hit a smackable,
You
you're
lose a bit of
you're-
speed,
you're
right?
a few hundredths or
Mm.
even sometimes a few tenths of a second.
Well, I
So-
mean, if you hit the bigger stuff too, you'll lose quite a bit.
oh yeah, if
Yeah.
you hit a big smackable.
And this is one mode where literally like the millisecond counts
Yeah.
to the T. You'll win and lose races by that little amount.
For
so-
sure. Well, even that big of a lead was only 0.3 of a second.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
You know, and it looked like a pretty big lead.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's really nail biting the entire way.
Exciting. Okay.
Yeah, so that's really sweet.
So yeah, so basically you're tied into a lane, right?
Yeah.
It controls for you, and all you're controlling is just your lateral movement.
Yeah,
Yes.
so in terms of controls, it's similar to what you guys have done in Most Wanted and all that, where it's down to you hit left or right and you just laterally move from lane to lane. But all the weaving of the car, we take care of that for you
Nice.
more or less.
Okay.
It's more about choosing and knowing which lane to be in.
So if a user doesn't even care about lane switching and all that, the car will still drive
Yeah,
on
the
the
car will
track.
go.
It's just you have that more finite control
Yeah.
of dodging.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, for the hardcore users again, like once you memorize the track and what the smackables are, you want to dodge those, and even positioning against your opponent. Because some cars take off in the last gear, you want to maybe be ahead of them, that sort of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Maybe should we do it one more time and then
Sure,
open
sure.
up for some questions?
Let's do
Sure.
another one.
Yeah.
Same race.
Same
Yeah,
race.
yeah.
Let's do it one more time.
Let's just see if I'm lucky again.
Just
Nah,
last
powers.
taste of the drag tracks before the community gets their own
Yeah.
feel in a few hours here. I guess what we'll do too is I'm sure it's through the questions,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about where you guys envision drag going forward and speak to that.
Yeah, we definitely have a plan
I see
for
some
that.
great questions coming through over here. So
And one quick other thing is, race right now we're doing 2-player races, but we have a full range of 1-on-1, so 2-player drag races, all the way up to 6-player drag races.
nice.
But this one we're doing now is a 4-player one, and it looks epic when you have 4 players lined up or 6 players lined
And
up.
I
just
can
going at it.
imagine when the road tightens too.
Oh,
You have to,
yeah.
you have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be in your lane, or else
Yeah.
you're getting squeezed out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the nice thing too is with the whole lanes moving, just controlling your lateral movements. There's no room for griefing and ramming and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's all
Yeah.
just you
You're-
got to be a good driver.
You're in
right?
your lane or you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're in
yeah,
your lane
yeah.
or you're not.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's move this out of the way.
and if someone gets in front of you, it's your own fault.
Yeah. All right, here we
Okay.
go.
Oh no, I'm not feeling this one.
Stay confident.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
See,
So
sign
no-
myself out.
So let's see if you can make up the
Wait,
distance.
I'm doing good shit. I'm doing good shit.
Yeah. So not a good start.
Another good start. Back and follow.
But
This
keeping-
is when I'm gonna win here. Look at that. Look
Perfect.
at that.
Look at that.
Oh, I hit a bunch
Good.
of them.
One.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
cut him off.
Oh, God, oh no! Don't look behind. Listen, I'm gonna try to block him off
Too
here.
nice.
Oh.
Nice. Good.
That's what happens when you look back and
Too
you don't look
confident.
forward. I know.
Yeah.
Right? I've done mistakes
Good
too many
race.
times.
But that was a good example. So you got a
Yeah.
bad start, perfect shifts. You didn't hit smackables. You caught them. Plus, this car has the skill mod to reduce your drag.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get ahead, and then you get.
Then I get too cocky.
Yeah, you get too. You start hitting
I look
smackables.
backwards and I hit it, yeah.
It's pretty amazing how touchy it actually is.
Yeah.
It's easy to do, but it's all those little things that affect the race, which is cool.
The small things add up.
The small
That's
things
the
add
thing with
up.
this mode.
They compound, which is cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're using the 360 controller there, right stick, just
Right. So yeah, for the controller, it's right stick to shift up or shift down.
Yep.
And then standard acceleration and
Yeah.
and then using left or right to change lane.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the controls are really boiled down to so you can just maximize your. It's all about the shifting,
Yeah.
timing.
And on-
everything
and on
it is.
keyboard?
it's
Yeah, shift and control to shift up and down.
Shift and control, and standard left, right, up, down. Cool.
sweet.
Okay.
All right, well, let's.
Stay seated for a bit, AZ, and we'll get
Yeah.
to some questions.
Okay, you got to switch it over back.
Let's
to
go
camera.
back to camera. All right.
All right. So I had a couple lined up before you guys
Sure.
took over, and then I'll spend some time getting more.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna take that one off hold because. Well, does gameplay change in drag events?
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's it's probably the most unique feeling game mode we have, right? Where
Yep.
we change the way you control the game. I think that the good racing in manual.
Yeah,
that's
it's
That's
huge.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's massive.
Exactly. Just the manual. That's probably the biggest game changer
Yeah.
because it's all centered around hitting your shifts
Yeah.
and watching your RPM limit. Whereas
Yeah.
before, with automatic, you never really had to
Yeah.
pay attention to that. It was all about the racing clean and racing perfect. Not
Yeah.
only now do you have to race clean, you also have to shift perfect.
Yeah.
And you can see, if you miss 2 or 3 good shifts and your opponent misses and hits all his perfect shifts, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So
yeah, completely.
that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, by far.
And probably the smackables too, right? Like, before people weren't. They would just power right through the smackables.
I mean, I think some of the tracks, it's you'll find with like sprints or circuits, you have to memorize the track and learn it off by heart. Some of these, it's not too much of that being the case. But with cases like Speed Fair, this one race, it's one of them where you have to know the right corners to take, and positioning is the main thing.
Yeah.
Because there's certain areas where, like I did here, where you'll just take off, or you need to know your opponent's cars as well, that sort of thing.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Let's get to another one, Drew.
Next question. What about adding new body kits? So he's asking about in-game cash body kits. We'll modify the question a bit. Are we going to be adding drag mode visual customization parts?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you see with the drag cars here, this is another step of the car team really stepping out of the comfort zone and really trying to make mode-specific kits. All the drag cars that are coming out have drag-inspired kits on them.
Yeah.
That are pretty unique and custom. They're not your generic sort of kit that's on a normal race car. These are, we started with the elite car.
Yeah.
With the ZL1 Elite. That was our first sort of kick of the can with drag-inspired cars. You're going to see on a monthly cadence now that all these drag cars will be inspired purely from drag. Yeah. So long and the short of that question is yes, there'll be drag kits will be on all the drag cars.
Cool. All right. Next question. Will the Chevrolet Camaro Elite drag car ever be turned into an actual drag car?
You just mentioned
good example. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Sorry, I was looking.
Yeah,
at
no, but
I mean,
relevant.
following from that, like I think right now it wasn't considered a drag car, but
yeah,
it certainly was one of the drag-inspired cars. I don't know if we'll go back and revisit it, but we'll definitely have drag cars coming now. So maybe you'll see different versions of other cars with drag kits.
With the skill mods and all that, how does that play in?
Yeah. Does it have the skill mods installed and everything?
Exactly.
Like that? Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled for new cars that have the skill mods installed.
Yeah. Right now, the skill mods are exclusive to the new cars coming out.
Yeah, the new drag cars.
Exactly.
Okay. Next question is: will there be more than 4 drag racing tracks?
Yeah.
In the future?
I guess the short answer to that is yes. We're looking at adding more, and we're always looking to the community for ideas on what to do. And we sort of the way we did these tracks, for example, is we looked at the world, and we've had drag already in portions of the world, like the Most Wanted area, and all of these are brand new drag tracks. Going forward, we're looking at doing new ones. Similar to what we did with the Rockport Turnpike, we're looking for areas where drag makes the most sense.
Yeah,
because
I think that's awesome. I think with the bridge run and all that, the communities will find us. They've been racing around all the different parts. A lot of the points that I used to love racing at in the old school Need for Speeds was the old Most Wanted area around the golf course up there.
Yeah.
That long sort of bendy sort of there's highway, then there's that ridge and then highway, and it's a nice loop. There's a lot of beautiful areas up there. So really just guys, feed back into Drew all your I'm sure Drew's going to do some polls in the future and just really engage the community, and wherever you guys want them built, AZ, Melvin, and Pavan will be able to sort of hammer these out. The beautiful thing with drag tracks is I would assume they're a bit easier to create than like a team escape track, right? Because it's point A to point B, right? So hopefully we can get you guys them on a more regular cadence than every 6 months or so. Yeah, for sure.
I think one thing as well is that right now all the tracks we're launching with are open, no restriction. So I think down the road we also want to add some more class restricted ones. I personally want to see an S-class drag race that goes for like 30 seconds, but with those guys.
Yeah, it would be nice to hit your top speed and then for another 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, just see where you line up against.
Yeah, because a lot of the top cars take anywhere from 20 to 35, 40 seconds to hit their max speed.
Yeah.
Depending on how you have them set up.
Yeah.
But even longer than that, close to a minute with dodging traffic would be amazing.
Yeah.
So while Drew's queuing up some more questions here.
I got a bunch queued up now.
Oh, you have some? Okay. Because we should get into, if they're not answered through questions, let's think about as well how what we want to share with the community on where we're going with drag sort of in the next stages.
There's a whole bunch of questions on that.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, I got 19 on hold now. Okay.
19? Okay. We got
take a drink.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you guys want to answer this or not, but will we ever make drag cars available for in-game cash? I think that's a quick, easy answer.
Basically, we always have
Well, I mean, the basic policy since car classes came out was all in-game cash cars are the base version of the mode.
Yeah.
And all drag cars are, of course, the special version.
Fully
right?
customized.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll keep parallels there.
All right, here's actually a question that's coming up quite a bit. Is manual transmission going to be available in any other game modes in the future?
I think it's a fair question. I think it's interesting. You know, I guess my best answer would be right now it suits drag the most. That's why that's why we put it in drag. And you know, it's already a lot to manage doing manual shifting in drag while steering is being assisted. So let's start with it in drag. Let's see where we get with it. Let's see how it feels.
I agree.
And then who knows what happen in the future.
For sure.
Okay. Another question is, will drag races be class restricted?
So right now, yeah, they're all open, but I think in the future, you know, personally, I want to see at least an S-class drag race, and I think in the future, we're going to be adding them in the future. That'll be restricted.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on, just grabbing the next one. I don't know what I just did when my questions disappeared. Okay. All right, here's an interesting question. We kind of touched on it while we were giving the demo. Is how can we avoid rammers, people who like to grief other players in drag races?
Yeah. Well, probably the easiest. So I'll let you get into it, AZ.
Yeah.
But honestly, the easiest way to avoid rammers is hit your perfect start, hit your perfect shifts, and you're gonna launch. Because if a guy is really worried about ramming you, he's probably so focused on the other aspects, and drag is a pretty intense mode that he won't be able to keep up with you. So that's first. And second, I guess.
Yeah, you know, and I admit I've tried it in drag. I tried it. If you change lane and try and hit someone, you know, that little 0.1 second where you're trying to crash into them, they'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
You know, you might catch the back end of them, but you know, things in drag is the rammers are punished for taking those sort of actions in a way.
Yeah.
So you can still have occasions where, you know, you're side by side, but because we're taking control of the steering to a degree. You don't get that same. You know, it's not like butting heads. It's more like a sort of confrontation in cars where they're colliding, but they're still racing at the same time. So it's not what you're used to.
It's one of those things too, where a rammer, if he's behind you and he rams you, he's not going to get in front of you. He's not going to just.
You'll be gone.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
you'll be gone. So once you're ahead of him, now the only way is if a rammer's in his lead and looks back and is trying to, you know, take you out. But if he's doing that, he's not racing and doesn't.
And even what I did in there was sort of like strategy, right? Because I didn't stop, but I was going and
You're blocking him.
I wanted to block him, you know.
Yeah. So there is strategy there for sure.
Yeah.
And in racing, that's real, right?
Yeah. You don't ever let someone pass you.
Yeah. You sort of choose your lane, and you know, if you're skilled enough to kind of look back and manage not hitting smackables, and that's part of the strategy.
Don't do what I did, which is look back and then hit
the smackables. But that's a good example of the risk reward, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, guys, we're about halfway through the live chat. We got a whole bunch more questions, so this one's going to be a quick one. I'll answer it real quick because we did answer this already. Is drag mode only going to be one-on-one races? The answer is no. They will range anywhere from one-on-one to up to 6 players on the line. So next, will there ever be a blown engine aspect part of the drag races?
Yeah, so this is going back to the original Need for Speed.
You know, we looked at inspiration from all the older drag games and all the NFSs, including, you know, looking at, was it in Push 2 we had there was a mini game before where you could blow your engines, warm your tires, we looked at all that stuff. We thought about it. We felt that with this, you know, we have a lot of sprint races circuits and team escapes. They all take longer than a minute. We want to drag through something where you go in and it's fast and you can keep racing them. So we didn't go with a mini game, and things like blown engine we just thought weren't
a good fit, right?
It wasn't very satisfying to go into a race and you get to build up the 3, 2, 1 and then I blew my engine, you know.
It just sort of took it took you out of the immersion of the quick, you know, moment to moment drag races. So the team decided to say, you know, that's just an aspect that doesn't sort of belong with the feel of this mode. It's more around, again, the hardcore shifts, hitting all your perfect timing, which in racing, timing is everything, and being perfect, you know, and the strategy.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, on the other side of that, if you're revving so high that you're going to, in the situation where you're going to blow your engine, you're not going to do well anyway.
You're over-revving.
Yeah, exactly. So our philosophy is, you know, if you're over-revving to the point where you blow your engine typically, you're just going to go slower, and you still be going at least.
And that's built into the physics. So if a user basically over-revs every shift, they will go slower than somebody running at perfect shifts, obviously, and somebody running at good shifts. The higher because it's almost that risk reward again. If you shift too early, you're not going to be as quick. If you shift perfect, great. But if you shift over, you're way past your sort of maximum power in your RPM range. So it's like that fine risk between shifting too early and shifting too late, right?
Yeah,
You're outside your power band, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I accidentally published this question instead of putting it on hold. So let's answer it real quick.
Okay.
Will there be a difference between front-wheel drive cars and rear-wheel drive cars in drag? It's a good question.
Yeah. I can take that one probably. And from a car tuning standpoint, the biggest thing with rear-wheel drive cars is if you have a highly horse-powered car, you want to limit that wheel spin. And with all-wheel drive cars, you saw in a few of those races, the all-wheel drive Skyline there just launched right off the line. It's like it's almost a traction control, if you will. Front-wheel drive cars are popular in drag as well, solely because they, rather than the wheel spin, they're pulling the car along. So you will see those small differences. Now, my recommendation on that is, if you do have a rear-wheel drive car, just make sure you're tuning it in a way, or it's equipped in the way that you're minimizing that wheel spin. So yes, you will see those differences.
Okay. Next question is, actually we talked about that a little bit in the last one. I'm just going to publish it because we did talk about how the preheating and stuff like that didn't really make sense for our kind of implementation of drag. So moving on to the next one. In drag racing, will you guys be using slingshots or anything like that?
Power-ups, basically.
Well, two different things, because you can, in drag mode on some of the longer drags, you can actually get into a position where you can slingshot by someone by drafting them. Or let's answer both questions. Will there be power-ups?
So first of all, you guys probably noticed when we were playing there wasn't a power-up cluster. So one of the decisions we made was to not have power-ups in this game mode. And that's because we wanted to focus it purely around the shifting and the car and the experience of that. So yes, the first one is no power-ups in this mode, which is pretty big. It's sort of new for the game. And if we have drafting, right now there isn't a version of drafting where you can go behind someone and speed up. Something I'd personally like to have, but there's also still it still comes down to you hitting your shifts and getting around the guy. So there's sort of an element of taking advantage of being behind someone, just not from being accelerating faster.
It's built in stages, right? So the first stage of drag was choose iconic tracks around the world that the community loves. Again, focus on taking away the traffic, focus on the shifting, get the core of the mode, the heart of the mode stood up, make you, let you guys practice on that and sort of build from there. Power-ups and all that, if you were to, right now there's no plan for drafting, but there's a lot of design around the power-ups and how furthering the skill mods and all that. So that's more of that, stage 2 of Dragon, and how do we further evolve this?
Okay, so I just saw one that I wanted you guys to answer. Okay, so why can't we have single player in drags? Why can't we do drags single player against the AI?
For single player in drag, we wanted to. The deal with drag to us is we looked at it as like almost like dueling. It's like it's you and the other races going head to head, and we wanted to keep it between players. We just felt that because typically we have some of the drag races are 2-player anyway, that it wouldn't be hard to match make, and we just really wanted to focus it around the pure experience of driving against other players.
And I think our game, the core of our game is head-to-head multiplayer. Play with your friends and play with people around the world, right? So we're kind of sticking true to that on everything we put out.
Cool. Interesting question is, how many drag cars do we plan to release? And we've already answered the part about them being in game cache.
So for today's release, we have two cars coming out, which is great. And what I've seen with Mike and Vinod, they have a whole, we've been working on drag cars for, it's been almost like 5-6 months. There's been a backlog, and they've been trying to get ahead with all this custom stuff. So you will see drag cars become a regular part of the release plan. There's probably not a dedicated number, like we're saying, we're releasing X amount this month.
It'll be like the art directors and co-ops and any other sort of style cars, right?
Exactly.
That just keep coming out.
Treasure hunters or team escapes. On a regular cadence, you will see new drag cars coming in. So again, we don't have like a specific number, but it's part of it's a new part of the pillar of the car release plan.
How many cars are there in the game? There's a specific number.
Exactly.
All right. Quick question is, will drag skill mods be available in the Lucky Draw?
So the one skill mod that you won't see in Lucky Draw, which is exclusive to drag cars only, was that aero drag, but the
go back to the screen. So if we go to
actually no, you don't need to. Actually, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other
we can show it 2D.
Sure.
Yeah, 2D map. 2D mix.
I can show you guys the exact in the bottom left star. So yeah, this one is exclusive to drag only. So this is when you're drag cars only. So you'll only see
the 6th slot, right?
Yeah, which is the 6th slot. So you'll not see this in Lucky Draw or card packs or the store or anything.
Yeah.
But the next two, gear ratio enhancement and launch grip, you'll see both Lucky Draw in the cash store and from card packs as well. So it'd be same as any other skill mod. It's in the race pack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna go back to camera.
Yep.
Yep. And
perfect.
Okay. Another drag car question is: will there be S-class drag cars?
Yes. Basically, the answer to that one is there will be a class, a drag car made in almost every class, and that's the goal. Just as we've done with all our other cars and even our elite cars, we're trying to fill out. Before we went to car class, we went to tiers. We filled out all the tiers. With car classes, the goal is as well make all different versions in each class.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a very interesting question from the community that it's come up constantly on Ask Mark. We should probably put it to bed.
Okay.
Real quick is: will cars with the high torque curve, or as the community calls it, the cosmic nos, still have the cosmic nos in drag races?
It's basically, things don't change. We're still using the exact same physics model. The NOS is not tuned any differently in drag. So the only way that changes now, when we do drag cars, we do drag specific tunings. Yep. So of course, like a Super Snake drag version and a Super Snake stock, or a Super Snake art director version will feel different because it's tuned a little bit differently. So yes, when we have drag specific cars, you will see the NOS act differently because the engine's different. So again, NOS is always a byproduct of the torque curve. So whenever we tune the engines differently and custom, it is a byproduct of that.
Okay. All right. So next question is, let me just publish it here. Are there going to be new spaces for drag skills? Or do we have to, for our existing cars, do we have to take the skill mods out to add drag skills?
So yeah, we're sticking with the slots that you have in your car. We're not adding anymore. What I recommend doing is you pick a car that you want to commit as your drag car, and then you put your drag mods on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Rewards in drag mode would be equal to regular races and team escapes?
So no, the rewards are actually a bit different. You still get rev cash and lucky draw, but they've been tweaked so they're more appropriate with the time. Because as you can see, we're finishing a race every 20-30 seconds. So it's roughly like it's kept in line so that you can do in the same amount of time as doing a race, you get the similar amount of rewards as they're doing a drag race. There's a few hidden goodies in there too, but find those in Lucky Draw. There's you guys can find those yourself.
Cool. Well, I'm sure it'll be all over the channels.
Yeah.
Community will find them.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is Okay, this is... So I'm going to adapt this for drag racing because this question comes up a lot from the community.
Sure.
Are the drag races going to be available all the time? All the 4 drag races, or are they going to be rotated?
So right now in the schedule, all 4 drag races are open every day, 24/7. You guys can race them as soon as they're out, every single one.
Okay, this next kind of comment is a little bit off topic, but they saw it in the
that's why.
What happened?
In the game, and we already announced this as part of the patch notes. So I see the pumpkin, so cool. Maybe we want to talk about some of the decorations that we just turned on.
Yeah. So basically, the fun part of this type of year is we just recently had Oktoberfest. We have the Halloween assets coming live this afternoon. Yeah. Which is pretty awesome. So the whole world, if you're new to Need for Speed World, you'll see around the world Halloween sort of themed decorations, scattered throughout the world. And basically, this is a nice lead up. We will have the same for Christmas. Christmas time, we have again Halloween decorations, and the golf course is filled with like snow, and there's a cool jump there as well. So we really just try to celebrate all the holidays. With that being said, as well, we have themed cars for. Yeah, we have some pretty sick themed cars as well coming out for each holiday, so stay tuned for those.
The Halloween.
Sorry?
I can't talk about it. We haven't announced it.
Yeah, we're excited.
We can't say anything.
Drew and I were talking.
Cool,
we were talking about it at lunch.
Pumpkins are cool. I agree with this person. All
right. Okay, so I got a couple interesting questions here. So, can you do drag races on the keyboard? Quick answer, and maybe you guys want to elaborate, is yes, you can.
Yep.
It's the same as any other mode, and to shift gears you use the shifting control key.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so, and it's all about that. But maybe you could talk about how what do you guys prefer and why, and or
well,
so forth.
So from a tuning standpoint, the cars, just so you guys know, don't freak out if you guys don't have a controller.
Yeah.
I'm used to playing on a controller because I'm a Xbox player. You know, I play all my games on Xbox. But the cars are actually tuned on the keyboard, which is great. So you're never sacrificing any performance just because you're using a keyboard. So there's really, it's really a personal preference. You know, are you a keyboard user or gamepad? How about yourself, Easy?
Yeah, personally, I play at home. I use my keyboard, but you know, at work I use the gamepad, so I use a bit of both. And I'd say, you know, for drag especially, it's probably one of the modes where it matters least what you're driving with, because you're making very minimal inputs on left and right. It's all about the shifting timing. So
exactly,
you know, whatever works best for you is what I recommend.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next question is kind of a comment. And they were saying, show the drag Supra, please. And so we've published a couple photos, but I figured we might as well
do
let's do it
real quick.
This is an exclusive sneak peek.
Yeah.
Well, not quite, because we do have photos of this.
Exclusive live
video.
sneak peek.
Live, all right. So maybe someone would want to do a 360 of this real quick.
Yeah, zoom in there.
So this is the Supra.
Again, you can see the big blown out fenders. I love those with the riveted.
Yeah.
You got the parachute in the back.
It's just our
wheelie bars.
Our time of day just changed in the game, so it's a little bit low lighting, but it's still I love this car.
Yeah.
And the Supra's always been a very popular car within the Need for Speed community. And it's like what we were saying, when we were deciding what cars to do, we knew we had to do the Supra to get like a nice tuner car in there.
Yeah.
We had to do the Super Snake because that's just
big muscle.
The big muscle mean machine.
Yeah.
And then you know, we were talking about the drag cars before. We got lots more coming. So.
Yeah. Again, that's some great feedback from the community. Let's hear what you guys want to see, and we'll get Mike and Vinod to
And
customize
so that's
those.
actually a good point. So when we do these polls on Facebook and Twitter and the forums and whatnot, is a lot of the times you notice that we'll put it up, or you guys post something in like the suggestions forum or something like that. Although we're not replying on the forum, doesn't mean we're not reading it.
Yep.
We read all that stuff almost on a daily basis, and we really do value the feedback that we get in there. So if you guys want to talk about drag cars, which ones we want to see, start posting it.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Let's switch back.
All right, switch back to camera.
Yep.
And then, all right, so we talked about that. And okay, sorry, I grabbed a question that wasn't quite the question I thought it was. So let me just search for another question. Will there be any special parts for drag mode?
Yeah.
So I guess what they're talking about specifically is the wheelie bar and the parachute. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, wheelie bars, parachutes. You can see the over fenders. Basically, the guys will keep creating new parts that you'll see only on drag cars.
Yep.
And that'll continue to evolve. You know, the car team is top notch, and they're always trying to push the boundaries and the limitations of our own rendering. So yeah, you'll see more goodies with each car coming out. But you'll see more of a standard. You know, like drag cars will always have a few staple.
Yeah.
You know, you'll always know, oh, that's a drag car based on a few key.
Which is cool, right? Because it stands out. You know,
Yeah.
similar to like treasure hunters with green, and like drag cars have these elements on them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice hairstyle, guys. That's a nice comment right there.
Nice hairstyle. Oh yeah, we're actually both the same today.
I know. I imagine.
Gelled up.
Okay, so here's an interesting question, and we get asked this a lot, and every time we give the same answer. So let's.
Pink slip one.
Yes,
Oh,
it is the pink slips.
It always is. Yeah.
And I'm going to preface this with everybody likes racing for pink slips until they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we love the competitive nature that you guys have, but if you have that competitive nature mixed by losing your beloved ride, we just don't feel it's right for you guys to feel that feeling. I know some of you guys are like, oh, I'm so confident, but you know, it's just we can foresee a lot of sore losers basically.
Yeah.
We don't want to see that happen. So pink slips will probably never happen in Need for Speed World. It's competitive enough. If you want the bragging rights, just finish first. You don't need the guy's car to gloat about it. So pink slips are a no.
Okay, I'm just going through the questions because I'm getting a lot of questions that we've already answered. So, give me just a quick second here. All right, here's a question, my own. Which car are you guys going to make your drag cars?
What was your favorite, AZ?
I don't know. Personally, if I pick between the two we have right now, I'd pick the Supra any day of the week.
Supra, yeah,
easily.
Supra's cool. There's a couple ones that we haven't announced
okay,
yet.
Of the ones that we're showing, right?
Of the ones we're showing, Supra. I like the Supra. I think the Supra is pretty cool. I've driven a few Supras in my day, and with the twin turbos, and I love it. It's a bit of a big, heavy car, but when the turbos kick in, it's super powerful. So I love those. But if I were to sort of favor a car going into drag, I'm a big Corvette guy, so I love the ZR1s. I'll probably start customizing my ZR1 to take it in and dominate. How about you? What are your other favorite cars?
Yeah, you know me. I'm always after the R34.
Yeah, you like the Skylines.
I know, man. They look
the Godzillas.
I'm up to that, back in the underground.
You're actually thinking
days.
of getting one in real life too. Yeah,
we'll see, man. If anyone finds one, let me know. But I'm feeling the R34, and I've got my own. I've got my classic one already decked out, but I'm gonna put on some drag skull mods later and take it for a spin.
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple questions on hold again.
Okay.
Are you guys ever going to think about doing like a tournament structure for drag mode?
I think that's a great idea. I feel if we don't do it directly in game, I think it's definitely something Drew could help organize as well on community events as well.
I bet you Boyan would build something like that for us.
Boyan, shout out to Boyan to help NFS Drew make that happen. But I think that'll be amazing. You know, if you guys had a tournament over the weekend that really sort of gave shout outs to the top users, that would be pretty amazing. How about in the game?
You know, for speaking of like doing these little events and stuff like that, I've always just been obsessed with setting times in the drag mode. Like I'll go into the turnpike and I'll try and hit 10 seconds flat. I'll try and like set these clocks.
Print screen it and send it to everybody.
You can break 10 seconds on those tracks. That's probably the goal. Just try and break 10 seconds on the Rockport Turnpike.
Yeah. So I think guys, to answer that question directly, you'll probably see it more of a community event first, if anything. No pressure, Boyan.
All right, here's a interesting question. So, I see wheelie bars. Are they purely for show, or if we upgrade enough, will the cars actually do wheelies?
Well, that's a you're probably going back to Pro Street Drag again, a wheelie through the quarter mile. Right now, they are for the show. But you never know. It
goes back to what you were talking about. Where like right now, this first implementation of drag mode is the heart of drag mode.
Definitely.
And we, I think that, Azlan, maybe you can speak to plans because I'm not sure what you guys have planned. And I think at this point, you guys don't even know what you have planned. But wheelies, could we see wheelies in the future?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'll take that one because it's a bit of a tuning question, and we'll get into this. Drew, this goes to what, 2:30?
We got another 8 minutes.
8 minutes. So we'll talk. In the last 5 minutes, I'll talk to you guys about a little bit of update on my role moving forward. But moving forward, like AZ will be taking care of a lot of the car tuning. So a lot of the questions, I've been trying to mentor AZ on physics and karting for the last couple years, and he's been sort of under my wing from a racing standpoint. And there's some tricks that I know that are deep in the physics engine that can sort of pop the car up.
I've seen you do it, man.
Yeah,
I've seen the wheelies happen.
Yeah, I've done it. So again, this would be more of like a stage 2, stage 3 type of thing. But there is room there that we can massage. Now the only caveat to that is it would be purely for drag, because you can imagine having a wheelie car driving around the world. You're going to be doing wheelies every 2 seconds. It's just not fun. But for drag, we're open to it. I think it's pretty fun to see that thing lift up a little bit. So so that was a sort of a two-pronged question. Is yes, we're open to it. Second off, AZ will be taking a lot of the tuning moving forward.
Okay, I have the final 5 questions lined up. I should be able to get through them quick, and then we'll be able to do your update, Mark.
Sure.
So, is traffic in drag events? I know we touched on this briefly.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just kind of remind.
So in these first 4 events that we're launching with, there's no traffic at all. It's just you and the other races. But down the road, we are looking at putting traffic in, but in a smart way. We don't want to just throw in random traffic where it gets in your way, it gets annoying. We want to do it where it's a cool challenge. Look back to the underground days when we had to dodge intelligently and position. So we're looking to do something in that realm. Down the road, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is: can we use non-drag cars in drag events? Of course.
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
Yeah.
It's open.
But
Yeah.
maybe you could talk about a little about how you do want to tune your cars for a drag race.
Yeah, for sure. The drag cars are tuned specifically for drag, you know, and they have that little bit of a extra kick with obviously the skill mod on, you know, with the lowering of your drag. But yeah, you're free to take whatever car you would like into there.
Yeah, I mean, and try different cars. I guess is the main thing as well.
Yeah.
You'll find certain things feel better for you. Even certain races suit different cars better.
There'll be some cars that the community probably doesn't even play with now that'll be amazing drag cars. That are amazing or in a straight line. Like you don't need to turn on a dime. You know, like some of the cars for the races. Now it's purely about straight line speed, gearbox efficiency, reducing as much of your drag, and again, right now with the tracks that we have now, fitting in within like under that quarter mile. You know, so what cars are shifting through the first gears really quick to get you that jump, right? And as you lengthen the tracks, again, it's going to change the strategies again. That you're going to take more of the longer gearbox cars, right? So a lot of strategy there in choosing the right car and setup.
Okay, so I just realized something. We started a little bit late.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. We'll use the
bit
full
over?
hour, so we will have 5 more minutes of questions, and then we'll go.
Sounds
because
good,
we didn't start until like 20 to 2.
Yeah.
So.
If everybody's willing to hang in there with us, we'll go as long as it takes.
We still have a whole bunch of people on. So
Let's keep it going.
So,
sounds good.
Here's an interesting question about performance customization. So right now, if you swap your engine, I'm kind of adapting this question to see if you swap your engine, can you actually increase the RPM limit on the car?
If you swap your engine, so
right
now,
going from like say the engine limits out at 6,000, can you actually make it so it limits out at 8?
Yeah, right now the RPM limits don't change within a car. You're just basically getting more power out of that maximum RPM range. So you're never going to take a car that's 7,000 and make it 9,000.
Yeah.
But you will make a 7,000 RPM range car just maximize its horsepower if you upgrade its engine. So it's kind of like in the real world, like, you know, just optimizing, just optimizing your engine, you know, port and polishing and all that.
Okay. Next question is: will you guys ever put in the ability to total your car in a drag race like in Underground and
so
Most Wanted?
That's one of the things we looked at in the old modes again. We said, should we have totaling? It's cool when you can see your car do flips and crash and all that stuff, but we felt like for this mode we wanted to get you in there just racing and focusing on the racing experience and not celebrating the crash. So in this game, when you're doing a drag and you hit, I think it's like 0 miles an hour, we reset your car and you can keep going again. Yeah. It's because it wasn't satisfying because we're only multiplayer. It wasn't satisfying to crash and then have someone else win the race.
Exactly.
You know, we don't want to let you finish.
We always want to give you a chance.
Yeah. So finish your own race. And
we felt that when you crash, you lose enough speed anyway. It's enough of a punishment. If
we don't want to say get out the race.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just had a question to ask to rev the engine, but we're not going to do that at this point. Will you guys ever use drag tracks from the original Most Wanted?
It's an interesting idea. I mean, we thought about it when we made these tracks, but we wanted to come out with brand new for you guys. So we're looking at we look at old tracks and we see if any suit our games. We might bring them in. If you have any favorites, that's probably a good way to do it. If you have any favorites, let us know, and maybe we'll take a look at bringing those back. But yeah, we're thinking about it, but we'd like to give you guys something new, which are the 4 new races we have today.
Okay. Next question is: so the existing perfect start skill at RPM, will that apply to drag races? And
the answer is no, actually. You take in the people talking about the skill mod, right, for the perfect start range. That does not work in drag races. It's all down to you feathering the RPM at the beginning to try and get that range. It's all
manually controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting question, considering that it is a maintenance on right now. How are we online? We are.
It's a good question, man. I don't even know how we're doing.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Things happen.
We're on our dev servers.
Yep.
Which is internal only.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah. So this is what you guys are getting a sneak peek of what our team looks at and works on every single day, and what our QA team and our dev team is testing on. So you guys are literally in the back door right now.
All right. I really like this question. Will you guys ever make your own fictional drag cars?
Yeah.
Like with this.
SUVs or maybe like
that's an interesting
like what if like Burnout, use some cars from Burnout or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question that the car team should weigh out. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think we'll have to get back to the community on that one. Right now, we're focusing on more drag-inspired kits on existing licensed cars, but it's definitely something that I know Mike has already concepted some ideas on his own versions of cars that Vinod can model. So it's definitely a possibility. If you guys would love to see it, I think, again, feedback to Drew, let him run a poll. If you guys really want to see one, we'll prioritize it. It's that simple, because it's in our control. It's just when the car team can schedule it in. So I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so final, how many questions do we have?
3.
Final 2 questions.
2? Yep.
All right, so the first one is, will we be able to use drag cars in sprints and circuits?
Yeah, full on, you can use those cars in sprints and circuits.
Well, here's the question, is it a good idea to use
It's a good idea. You know, they're good cars, so yes.
They're good in a straight line.
They're good in a straight line.
We didn't deliberately detune them for like a drag.
So I'd say that they're best in drag races.
Excuse me.
But they're definitely competitive in other races too.
Yep.
Team Escape included as well.
Just learn how to use your brakes around those corners.
Yep.
All right. The final question is, this is coming up a lot. Is a lot of people notice that they're really quick, or is it just the demo that we're giving, or are drag modes really quick? So
yeah, probably one of the biggest differences from standard game modes in the game is, you do a sprint or circuit, takes you at least a minute and a half. Team Escape 2-3 minutes. Drag 20-30 seconds each and every time.
Yeah. And this alludes to what the future coming, that you want your vision for drag, yours, Melvin's, and Pavon's, is to give the users and give the community, the players, the 45-second drags, a minute drags.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, we're working on that range. We're working between range of 20 to 40 seconds. Right now, we want to start with simple and short and sweet, basically. Which is what we have right now, and it's all about feeling. We don't want to make them too long, where you sit there and you maxed out and you're just cruising. But
like the longest drags in real life is like the standing mile, right? And those are still super fast, right?
Once you hit that top speed,
45-second drag is a long time too. And then like you're in 6th gear, no matter what type of car you have, even the Class E cars, you're in 6th gear for 3/4 of the race, right? And then
it becomes if you have traffic at that time, dodging.
And that's exactly it. I think once we get to that length, we'll probably start throwing in traffic, so you have something more to do than just shift.
So that looks like it's a sweet spot there. 30, 45 seconds with some traffic, some difficulty. Try to stay clean all the way. Yeah,
and I sort of like the fact that if you just want to, you customize your car, you want to go and race and test it out, go to a drag race 20 seconds in, see how it feels, and then work from there. It's a really good way to just benchmark your car.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a quick and easy mode to get into and get a taste for.
All right, we got about 3 minutes left until we're out of time here. So
cool. Yeah.
Mark, what's going on?
Yeah. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick update on my upcoming transition. So
you haven't announced this at all?
Haven't announced it at all, and it's been coming up. You guys have seen me coming off the channels a little bit more in the last month and a half. So long story short is I will be transitioning within EA to another team, and working on a new exciting game coming in the free-to-play space. I can't announce it yet what my new team will be working on. It'll be coming out in over a year from now, but Need for Speed World is going strong. The team is here. We'll continue to keep going and building the game for you guys. I just really wanted to, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you to the community. It's been an amazing ride for the last, it's been
a while.
Been over the last few years. It's been a pleasure making the game for you guys. I look forward in the next game that I do to build a strong community as well, and have a lot of you guys play that game as well. So stay tuned on obviously the official Need for Speed World channels. Keep following Drew. He'll still be running all the regular competitions and contests, and I'll probably be giving an update in early next year on the game that I'll be working on. Like I said, I just can't announce it yet because we're still in prototyping phase, but just wanted to give you guys that little bit of a update.
So it's goodbye, but not forever.
Yeah, it's a goodbye just for now, and it's a big thank you. Like I said, it's been a pleasure making the game for you guys. I loved building the community events and all that with Drew and the team. I know the team has been so jazzed to build the game for you guys, because at the end of the day, the game is yours, right? It's built for you guys. We have one of the biggest growing community still. Most passionate. Every month, we're growing by 1 million users, which just is amazing. It's a testament to the community and how supportive they are. So again, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it, guys. I guess this is the last podcast for a while from NFS De Vellis.
No more Ask Marks.
No more Ask Marks. But you know what? What I'll do is, the beautiful thing, I'm still staying within EA, and I'm only moving a couple floors down from you guys. And every once in a while, I'll pop back up. And like I mentioned, Azlan will be taking over the cartooning roles. It's in good hands. He's been I've been mentoring him for over a year now, so he's well up to speed on that. But every once in a while, I think I might pop up and maybe tune a special car. And maybe that might be something fun for Drew.
Little signature.
If you guys want me to come back and tune something for you guys, let Drew know, and I'll pop up for a day or so and tune it, because I still want to be involved behind the scenes like that for you guys, and partake and sometimes spot the devs. I'll make an appearance here and there.
Cameo.
A cameo.
Cameo.
Cool. But yeah.
One quick thing before you sign off is you told me an interesting kind of tidbit yesterday about the Ask Mark videos, about the number 67.
Yeah.
Maybe you just want to share that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's just a little personal story. As you guys know, coming from racing, my racing number was 67. My birthday is May 6th, my dad's May 7th, so I've always had number 67, and it's just a very cool story that the last Ask Mark was actually Ask Mark 67.
Yeah.
So this video, when it comes out, won't be Ask Mark. It'll just be called Drag Live Chat or something like that, and we're just going to go out with the Ask Mark 67, which is a good omen on my behalf, and for me, I'm big into those. It means a lot to me to have done 67 videos. So, Drew and I were having a chuckle over that this morning, and at lunch, it's just, man, it's been a long road, and it's been a good time. From starting our very first Ask Mark 1 at the desk, to 67 videos plus. Yeah, it was an amazing time. So, until next time, we'll see you guys again.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Okay.